On today's video, I'm going to show you how you can transform wood into cash. We're going to be making over these simple wood pieces into gorgeous Christmas decorations that sell. The first project we're going to make is called Rustic Modern Trees. We're going to transform this scrap wood that I picked up for $5 for all of that wood, and we're going to transform it into really gorgeous and fun primitive type rustic modern tree decor. What I did off camera is I went ahead and I gave them a coat of black paint that is coal black from Fusion Mineral Paint, and then I painted it in the color Vintage Linen from DIY Paint. Now, the first paint is a mineral paint, and that's going to serve as the base. And then I painted it with the Vintage Linen from DIY Paint, which is a chalk paint, and chalk paint is easily distressable. So we're just going to go around all these pieces, and we're going to distress it back with a wet wipe and a little bit of a sanding block right there so that we get a really old looking distressed feeling from these wood blocks. DIY paint is a clay-based paint, so you do need to seal it because it can be reactivated with water. You need to make sure that your sealer is completely stirred up, and in this case I'm using Big Top. That is one of DIY Paint's sealers. I love checking out Pinterest for inspiration and ideas, and I came across some different pins where people had drawn different kinds of Christmas trees. These were very simple, minimalist, easy kind of little drawings, and I thought, actually they were posters and things like that, but I thought that I could use them as inspiration. If you're uncomfortable freehanding these kind of trees, you can always draw them out with a pencil and then just go back over your lines with a paintbrush. The style of these are very modern and primitive, so you really can't mess them up. And if you do mess them up, you can just wipe it off or paint over it and start again. On the next tree, you're going to see where my paint drips a little bit and I end up going back and just wiping it away. My name is Emily. I'm with J Bowen & Company. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you're new today, welcome. Consider subscribing to my channel. I think you're going to really enjoy these projects. I have a ton of old videos and I have a lot of great video ideas coming up. And y'all stick around for the next two projects. I think you're really going to love those as well. Actually, we have 3 more projects coming up. One more using these same type boards. We're going to be using some wood rounds that I picked up from Michael's a while back, as well as an outdated sign that I picked up for 50 cents at the thrift store. We're going to be making some barn quilt projects, some ornaments, and a piece of art, and I think y'all are really going to enjoy those as well. If you're interested in picking up any of the paint and products that you see in this video, you can find a link in the description and I'll get them sent out to you right away. Alchemy Paint dries with a powder coat finish. I love how it paints. It has excellent coverage. It has 3 key ingredients: acrylic, limestone, and chalk. After the paint dries, we're going to embellish them a little bit more and do a little bit more distressing, and then these pieces will be ready for my booth and ready to sell. I'm hoping to sell these pieces for around $20 a piece. Now I'm taking out some bronze metallic paint from Fusion Mineral Paint, and I'm just going to enhance each one of these pieces just a little bit. If you want to keep them more winter, you could just add some snow or just white or even a darker green. There's so many different ways that you could embellish these trees with ornaments, stars. I actually have some rusty stars I'd like to add. In the next video, I am going to embellish these even further. So y'all don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss out on that video. There's still 3 more amazing projects I can't wait for you to see. The next project are these barn quilt ornaments. I picked up these wood rounds, I think for about $1 at Michael's a year or so ago. We're going to take these barnwood stencils. Y'all, I love these barnwood stencils. If you don't have them, you need to pick them up. They come with 6 in a pack. They're very hard acrylic or plastic, whatever they're made of, but they can be used over again and again. And y'all look at all those different patterns, and you can use them all different seasons with all different colors. I'm going to be using red and white, but you could use red and green, just green and white, black and white, or depending on the season, of course, during fall, you could use all the fall colors, spring, all the spring colors. So these little barn quilts make excellent little shelf sitters for your little projects or ornaments or whatever you want to do. So if you're into reselling, this is a very valuable tool. So if you've never used a stencil, all you need to do, I also sell these stencil brushes in different sizes. I happen to have this little tiny one at home. And basically you're just going to dip your brush into the paint. You're going to offload it, so you don't want a whole lot of paint on your paintbrush. In fact, you don't want that much at all on your paintbrush. And then you're either going to just stipple it or swirl it. If you have too much paint on it, it will get underneath your stencil, and then it won't be a sharp line. If you're using these stencils on a larger project, I would recommend taping them down to your project. But because these are on the ornaments, I couldn't tape them down because the ornaments were smaller than the actual stencil. But here you go. You can see how beautiful these are. And even if they're not perfect, they still look really good. I ended up sealing these with Big Top, but if I was going to do it again, I would just use a spray matte sealer, because when you have that red and white mixed, you risk it running a little bit. So the red getting into the white, and you don't want to do that. So next time I do this, I would just go ahead and either seal the white first and then do the red, or just probably most likely just spray it with a spray sealer, and then you don't have to worry about that. You could stop here, but I decided to take it a step further. After the sealer dried completely, I took out my Pen Art Classic Crackle. It comes in two different parts. I applied the first part, let it dry overnight, then the second part. Antique paste is the next step. You just rub it onto your project, and then I stamped Joy with the letterpress stamp from IOD. Still need to attach a small hook and a ribbon, but I'll do that in a future video, so y'all stay tuned for that. The next project I'm calling the Sleigh signs. These are those same boards. I painted them with red. It's called Marquee from DIY Paint. Here I'm just going to go back and distress them a little bit. I know that signs are kind of not quite as in style as they used to be, but this is an updated, more trendy version, so I thought that they would be fun. You know, all the kids always say the word sleigh, S-L-A-Y. I don't know if you're aware of that, but they always say sleigh, and it kind of means like killing it or something like that. So I thought this was kind of a play on words, although it's not really a play on words because it's the actual word. But for Christmas, we're going to write out the word sleigh. You could also use any other word you want to, Merry, Christmas, joy, any of those. But, you know, those have been pretty common and around for a long time. So I thought that I would change it up a bit and just use a more modern saying here. So we're just going to say sleigh. I don't know if anyone else relates it to that, but that's what it sounds like to me every time I see just this normal word sleigh. So this is one of the stamp sets from Iron Orchid Designs. We're just going to spell out the word sleigh, and then we're going to take our thin mount and we're just going to place it on top of the letters. The letters are going to adhere to the thin mount. This is called the typesetting stamp from IOD. I carry it as well as the ink pads, the thin mount, all those things. So if you're interested in any of those, I have those on my website and they'll be in the description. Just line up the words where you want them and then carefully press down, and there you go. These will add a pop of red and Christmas to my booth. They're fun. I think they look trendy, and they'll be something easy that I can sell for under $20. If you're still watching this video and you're enjoying these projects, please write the word tree in the comments so I know that you're still here. We're going to be making over this thrifted sign into a gorgeous barn wood quilt. I painted it black. I painted it white again off camera. I'm going to tape this one down because it's big enough, and we're just going to use the color Monet's Garden from DIY Paint. I had been dying to make a green and white barnwood quilt for a long time. Y'all, these are really easy to make, and I think that they will be great sellers. They're really popular in this area, and they just look really cool. Just think about all the different combinations that you can make. Now, you can draw these out and tape them out yourself, but if you want a quick fix and you want to be able to make these barnwood quilts very fast, this is what you need. These stencils come in these larger sizes too, and I think that you would really enjoy having these to make projects as well. You can not only make artwork, but you can also put them on top of stools or furniture or trays, whatever it is you want, and you're gonna really like how these turn out. Now, this one was very easy to get sharp. I think it's because I was able to tape it down, but y'all, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? We're going to go ahead and go around the edges and just distress it a little bit. Once again, I probably should have sealed off that white paint, but I didn't, so I was very careful. After I use the clear wax, I'm just gently rubbing it off, and then I'm going to go back with a little bit of dark wax around the edges just to age it up, to make it look a little bit older. But y'all, I really love how this project turned out, and if you enjoyed this project, y'all, please give me a thumbs up and let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. If you're in the mood for more thrift flips, there'll be some more right there on the screen for you. And if you would have priced these differently, y'all let me know in the comments what you think I should price these items.